First impressions matter when meeting someone for the first time, and when you add a whole group to the mix as a magician, you've got the daunting task of interrupting them with the intention of entertaining them with something arbitrary such as magic. That's why magicians often break up their effects into 3 categories for their walk-around sets. You've got the openers, which is what you start your set with, followed by the middlers, which are the effects following the opener. And lastly, you've got the closers, the final effect to close your show or set. In this case, we'll be looking at 3 of my favorite openers using 3 different objects that I use when performing strolling magic, and why they work for me in helping to gauge an audience's interest. But the best opener isn't an effect at all. I'll explain what it is and why towards the end. The first trick that I do is Crazy Man's Handcuffs. Who knew you could do so much with just 2 simple rubber bands? Crazy Man's Handcuffs is an effect where 2 rubber bands are held between your index finger and thumb, and they're wrapped around each other and pretty much locked, unable to be taken apart without it slipping in between your fingers. You then penetrate one band magically through the other. I usually perform this effect with 2 phases, the first in the hands and the second with the participant holding the rubber band, making it seem more impossible when they get the best view and are involved. I use this as an opener because it's quick and visual, and their reaction allows me to get a feel for whether they'll enjoy magic or not. Whoever reacts the most will help me with the second phase. I also have a subsequent phase where the bands vanish one at a time, which is taught on Joe Rindfleisch's Penguin Magic Live lecture, which is very good if you want to add any rubber band magic to your repertoire. If I'm not getting a positive reaction from anyone in the group, it could be a case of them not enjoying the magic, they're not interested in the rubber bands, or they're not interested at all. In those cases, I'll ask if they want to see something with cards as I take out my cards, then proceed depending on their answer. I don't take offense if they opt not to see any magic and continue to see the next group, where I hope to have a better time. There's a lot more you can do with rubber bands, but I find a few quick phases are sufficient, and people can only handle so much rubber band magic. My card opener is a variation of Chicago Opener by Edward Oshman, which I learned from his Penguin Live lecture. The effect involves 4 phases. Phase number 1, card is selected and returned to the blue deck. You look for their card, saying it should stand out. A red backed card with "your" written on the back is seen in the middle of the spread. You turn it over to reveal it's their selection. Phase 2, you mention that their card wasn't originally red on the back and pull out a blue backed selection from your pocket. Phase 3, another card is selected by someone else. You go through the pack and find it. Phase number 4, you then change that selection into the first selection and show that the red "your" card is now the second participant's selection. If you're enjoying this, consider giving me a like. What I like about this effect is that it takes the original Chicago Opener and adds 2 phases with a card to pocket and transposition, allowing the magic to stretch and build to a satisfying climax. When I perform this effect, I find the audience think the routine is over at the end of the second phase, so when I return to the "your" card at phase 4, they react even stronger at the realization that both selections were connected. If a group does not react to this effect, they're not likely to enjoy any further magic from me, and it's either a me problem or they're just not really interested. The third opener that I use is Joshua J's Triad Coins, which is a nice self-contained 3-coin production and vanish that I also did a YouTube video of, which I'll link in the description below. But I like to perform this with flash paper, first making the coin appear in a ball of flame before producing the other coins any way I feel like, either behind someone's ear or from my person. The ease of this routine allows me to also vanish the coins in any way I want, vanishing it in my hand or pretending to hand it out before the final clean vanish, leaving my hands completely empty. This effect is pure visual eye candy, which makes it great for people of all ages. Plus, who doesn't like money or shiny objects? I find this routine elicits quieter reactions as humans attempt to make sense of how coins are appearing and disappearing so effortlessly. People are used to looking at the other hand to find the other coin, but in the case of Triad coins and other similar coins, there's nothing to see. Even though I carry other coins on me, this is often the only coin routine I perform during walk around. Let me know in the comments what openers you use, because I'm always looking to expand my repertoire. Are they quick and flashy, or are they like the openers I do, which play vertically, where your face is often framed with the props you're using, which leads me on to the best opener, which is using the main prop on your face, your mouth. Which is a weird way of saying that talking to your audience before you do any magic is the best way to introduce yourself and open your set. When I approach a group, I always ask how they are, introduce myself as a magician, and provide context for my presence. I then ask them if they've seen any magic in real life before, which can have different answers. They can say yes, and they enjoyed it. This makes it easier to perform. Yes, and they didn't like it. This is tougher, and I'll either win them over or just do a short set and move on. No, but they like magic. This is my favorite response, as they usually have no idea what they're about to see. No, and they're not interested. I would not push in this case. Thank them for their time and then move on to another group. There are other answers too, but these are the common ones I've encountered. Throughout the set, I would ask them questions such as how they all know each other, what they do, or if they are celebrating anything. They may also ask you questions which I always take time to answer, either properly or with a joke depending on the group. These moments of conversation I find make you more memorable as a person and elevates your magic, as they should like you more after getting to know you. The freedom to chat and perform depends on your gig. You might only have an hour to hit everyone, so conversations aren't possible, or it's a busy night at the residency, so you have to help relieve the kitchen staff as much as possible. But always endeavour to talk with your audience and not at them while sharing this wonderful art of magic. However, some of you might get nervous at the thought of approaching a group or getting on stage, which I do too. So check out this video next to see how I deal with nervousness and anxiety that comes with performing, and have a magical day.